Jess, now you're almost a year into this, more than 1,000 races called. How much more comfortable now than when you started?
I am so much more comfortable now. Now I get really excited as the gates are about to open. It doesn't feel necessarily like I'm jumping out of an airplane 10 times a day. And I've really enjoyed getting to learn the horses, the jockeys, the horsemen and women here. And that's been really helpful in calling the races as well, kind of getting a sense of who's who.
Now, talking to you months ago, you were very enthusiastic about September and getting to call a Grade 1 race. What will it be like today, calling not one, but two?
It's a huge honor to get to play a role telling the stories on the biggest day of the year here at PARX and one of the biggest days of the year in racing in general. These are going to be some of the best 3-year-old colts and fillies in the country. Championship honors are on the line for a lot of these horses. And the fun thing all summer has been watching these horses in other races and going, oh my goodness, I might get to call that one.
Preparation-wise, what will be different about these two races than every other race that you do?
Nothing. It's a race. That has been very important to me, and I got to test drive that a little bit. Smarty Jones Day was batting practice because you really don't know how you're going to react on a bigger race until it happens. And you want to do a good job, but I want to do a good job on the bottom non-winners of 2 Lifetime as well. So the preparation is the same. You just try to rise to the occasion.
When you got the job originally, there was much said about you being the first female full-time race caller at a racetrack in America. Now you get to be first female calling a Grade 1 race. What does that mean to you?
It's a huge honor to just have even a footnote in the history books of the sport that you've devoted your life to. And to be among some of the women that paved the way for me in various other areas of the sport, it's a real honor.
Among other horses you're going to get to call, you're going to get to call the Kentucky Oaks winner, Pretty Mischievous. 3 Grade 1 wins. What will it be like for you to call the winner of the best 3-year-old filly race in the country?
It's very exciting, and while I think she looks very formidable, of course, there are some local horses with a big chance as well. I think that race is shaped up to be just so competitive. It's going to be one for the record books for sure.
What is so difficult for people who have never done this about calling horse races?
It goes really fast, and you have to find the memorization and the tools and tricks that work for your particular brain. You can get all of the advice you want from great announcers, but until you find what clicks in your brain, it doesn't work. And you're not just going to wake up one day and be Tom Durkin, regardless of how much I really wanted to be that in the first week. So it's all very hard. And then it's also, for me, I approach it very much like I approach horse showing. I show show jumpers and show hunters, and you don't let one bad fence ruin your entire round. So it's learning to kind of keep going and go forward, even if you do stumble or make a little bit of a mistake.
You have a lot of race caller friends. What's the best piece of advice they've given you?
The best piece of advice actually came from someone who's in racing but not a race caller, who told me when I was first starting out and I was kind of hyper-focused on a lot of things, you're not a chart caller. And I mean, that changed my perspective, that changed everything for me, that you're not a chart caller, you're telling a story.
And the story of a race, do you anticipate what it might be as you're going into the race, or do you just let it play out?
With certain horses, I anticipate what they are going to do. One of the fun things at PARX is we have so many of these nice old war horses. So some of those are quite predictable in the way they are going to run. But I think if you're anticipating too much, you're setting yourself up to not be adjustable.